Climate Change Basic Explanation. Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about climate change. This is one of the most important topics of our time, and it affects every person on Earth. By the end of this video, you'll understand what climate change is, why it happens, and what we can do about it. So what exactly is climate change? Climate change refers to long-term shifts in Earth's average temperatures and weather patterns. Think of it like this: our planet's climate has always changed, naturally over thousands of years. But what's happening now is different. The changes we're seeing today are happening much faster, and they're primarily caused by human activities. The main culprit is burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. When we burn these fuels for energy, we release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The most common greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide. These gases act like a blanket around Earth, trapping more heat from the sun and causing our planet to warm up. To understand climate change better, let's break it down into 6 key categories. These are causes, effects, evidence, vulnerability, mitigation, and adaptation. Each category helps us see a different piece of the climate change puzzle. Causes. First, let's talk about causes. Human activities are the main driver of current climate change. The biggest cause is burning fossil fuels for energy. We also contribute through deforestation, which removes trees that normally absorb carbon dioxide from the air. Agriculture also plays a role, especially livestock farming, which produces methane, another greenhouse gas. There are some natural factors too, but human activities are by far the biggest cause. All these activities increase the levels of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, which trap more heat and cause the planet to warm. Effects. Now let's look at the effects. Climate change is causing rising global temperatures. This might sound small, but even a few degrees make a huge difference. We're seeing sea levels rise as ice melts and water expands when it gets warmer. We're also experiencing more extreme weather events. This means more intense heat waves, longer droughts, stronger storms, and more severe floods. Glaciers around the world are melting, and our oceans are becoming more acidic as they absorb more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. These changes disrupt traditional climate patterns that plants, animals, and humans have depended on for thousands of years. This leads to harm to ecosystems and communities worldwide. Evidence. How do we know climate change is really happening? Scientists have collected lots of evidence. They've measured higher average temperatures around the world. They've observed ice sheets retreating and glaciers melting. They've also measured increased concentrations of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Scientists have also noticed shifting patterns in plant and animal behavior. For example, some birds are migrating earlier and some plants are blooming sooner. All this evidence points to the same conclusion. Our climate is changing rapidly. Vulnerability. Not everyone is affected by climate change in the same way. Vulnerability refers to how susceptible people, ecosystems, infrastructure, and economies are to the harmful impacts of climate change. This vulnerability varies a lot by region and population. For example, small island nations are more vulnerable to sea level rise. People in very hot climates are more vulnerable to extreme heat. Poor communities often have less resources to protect themselves from climate impacts. Understanding vulnerability helps us know where help is needed most. Mitigation. Mitigation means taking action to reduce or prevent greenhouse gas emissions. This is about tackling the root cause of climate change. We can do this by transitioning to renewable energy sources, like solar and wind power. We can also improve energy efficiency in buildings and transportation. Conserving forests is another important mitigation strategy because trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Every action we take to reduce emissions helps slow down climate change. Adaptation. Adaptation is about learning to cope with the impacts of climate change that are already happening or will happen in the future. This includes building flood defenses to protect coastal areas. It means developing drought-resistant crops that can grow in changing conditions. Communities are also planning better for extreme weather events. This might mean building stronger buildings, creating emergency response plans, or moving important infrastructure to safer locations. Conclusion. Climate change is a complex challenge, but understanding these 6 categories helps us see the full picture. We know what causes it, what effects it has, and what evidence supports it. We also know that vulnerability varies, but we have tools to address it through both mitigation and adaptation. The good news is that we're not powerless. Every person, community, and country can take action. By working together on both mitigation and adaptation, we can build a more sustainable future for everyone. Climate change is happening now, but with knowledge and action, we can make a difference. Thank you for watching. And remember, understanding climate change is the first step toward addressing it. Hope this video gave you a basic explanation on climate change. If so, feel free to comment and like this video. Subscribe to my channel to watch interesting topics on science and technology. Share my channel with others too.